Good morning, it's Tim the London Walker. I hope you're all doing tremendously well. Now, this morning I want to take you to one of the most visited popular squares in London, and it's very famous for its remarkable array of statues, and I want to introduce you to my favourite one. And this one has a great story. It begins with a joke made by a wanted man 60 years ago. And that wanted man became one of the most celebrated human beings in modern times. So let me take you there right now. Parliament Square, a square of monuments. Churchill stooped on his plinth, Lincoln, Gandhi. This is where Britain memorialises those it considers worth remembering, and represents the changing ideas about who history belongs to. And here, arms outstretched, slightly larger than life, is Nelson Mandela. In 1962, Mandela slipped secretly into London, a fugitive of the apartheid regime in South Africa. He met here with Oliver Tambo, fellow ANC leader and exile, and they walked through Parliament Square. They noticed Smuts, the South African Prime Minister, the architect of racial segregation. Mandela joked that perhaps one day a black man would be here too. Mandela returned to South Africa, was arrested, and spent the next 27 years in prison on Robben Island. Times change, as did South Africa. In 1990, Mandela was released, and he became the first black president of that extraordinary country. In 2007, he returned to Parliament Square, and just within that joke he made so many years before, he unveiled the statue of himself. The plinth is lower down than the others. You can look him in the eye, and I think that speaks so much of the man himself. There are figures in history who seem to embody something the rest of us can barely articulate. And Mandela was one of them. 27 years in prison, and he came out without bitterness, insisting that justice need not mean vengeance. Peace over violence. That is not something the world produces very often. How we miss those kinds of people in our world today. Mandela stands here beside Churchill and Lincoln and Gandhi. He's among equals here. It's worth a moment when walking through to stop and admire this great man.